Let's talk about the quiet ones. Not the heroes on billboards, not the overnight sensations who capture the zeitgeist. But the ones you see every day, putting one foot in front of the other. The ones whose journey isn't a sprint, but a decade-long, silent march. This is the story of Elias. Elias wasn't chasing fortune or fame. He was chasing a feeling. The feeling of contribution. His dream was simple, yet gargantuan. To build a small community center in his struggling neighborhood. A place where art could live, where mentorship could grow. He started with almost nothing. A crumbling donated storefront. And a notebook filled with plans that no one else could see yet. He worked exhausting night shifts. And when the rest of the world slept, or began their day, Elias showed up. He painted walls that peeled again the following week. He wrote grant applications that came back with polite, impersonal rejections. Is the universe even reading these? Do they know how much I need this to work? Just one break, just one person to say, yes. We see your effort. Year 1 bled into year 2. The center looked a little better. A new door. A few second-hand chairs. But the community stayed away. His art workshops had 2 attendees. Martha, an elderly woman who mostly came for the tea. And Leo, a shy teenager who was always late and barely spoke. Most nights, Elias sat alone in the dim room. The silence louder than any noise. The calendar on the wall mocked him. Empty squares. Unanswered hope. One evening, a friend stopped by. Successful. Busy. Well-meaning, but blunt. Elias, what are you doing? You're pouring your best years into a ghost town. You could be making real money. You could be doing something. That night, Elias stared at himself in the mirror. Slouched shoulders. Tired eyes. Doubt wasn't a visitor anymore. It had moved in. He is right. This isn't dedication. It's delusion. 5 years. 5 years of scraping by. Painting over peeling paint. Begging for scraps. When does the tide turn? When does effort finally meet reward? He thought about quitting. He wrote the email. The one admitting defeat. He packed up the art supplies. Folded the dream into a box. But the next morning, as the sun rose, a memory stopped him. Not a grand vision. Just Leo. Standing quietly. Holding a charcoal sketch. Raw. Imperfect. Finished. The first thing Leo had ever completed. And in that moment, Elias understood something crucial. The world defines payoff as headlines. Checks. Applause. But the real payoff, the unseen harvest, was already happening. Quietly. It lived in consistency. In the fact that the doors were still open. In the discipline built from 5 years of showing up with no guarantees. He hadn't succeeded publicly. But he hadn't failed privately. He proved something powerful to himself. That his commitment was stronger than disappointment. He deleted the email. Unpacked the box. Shifted his definition of success. He stopped chasing validation. And began respecting the process. The broom against the floor. The smell of fresh wood sealant. Writing better, more honest, grand proposals. Year 6. Year 7. The progress was glacial. Then, a small grant. Enough to fix the leaking roof. Martha brought friends. Leo started mentoring younger kids. The center was still small. Still obscure. But it was alive. Every morning, Elias wondered. Will today be the day I realize this was all for nothing? Every night, the thought changed. I showed up again. That is not nothing. He learned this. A committed life isn't measured by crowd size. It's measured by inner structure. Patience hardened into steel. Resilience became an unbreakable vow. Then, year 9. Not a miracle. An accumulation. A local journalist wandered in. She saw the care. The clean space. Leo, now confident, leading a workshop. Walls filled with real community art. She wrote an article. Honest. Beautiful. Weeks later, a call came. Not a small grant. A partnership. The center didn't explode overnight. But it expanded. It grew roots. And here's the truth. Elias's life didn't change when the money arrived. It changed in year 5. The day he chose commitment over convenience. The day he defined success by showing up. The world simply caught up to the quality he had already built. If you're in that quiet middle right now, working, waiting, wondering if it matters, remember this. Life is not a vending machine. It's a garden. You are not failing because the outcome hasn't appeared. You are succeeding because you are cultivating faith in your process. Be patient. Be resilient. Have faith. Your effort isn't disappearing. It's shaping you. Strengthening you. Transforming you from the inside out. External rewards are consequences. But internal growth, that unseen harvest, can never be taken away. Keep planting. Keep tending. Your season will come.